Awesome.
Let's
So,
go.
hi guys, for those of you that know me, welcome back. For those of you that do not know me, my name is attorney Charmaine Robinson. I am the principal attorney here at True Lawyer. And you know, our ultimate goal is to help you to accumulate, protect, and transfer wealth, right? We want to make sure that you are building wealth, but not only are you building wealth, you're able to transfer wealth. And one of the ways to transfer wealth and accumulate wealth is through real estate, right? You have to have real estate. Though majority of millionaires and billionaires have a portfolio of real estate. And I have two amazing realtors with us today. I work with them a lot. So I'm not just saying they're amazing. They are amazing. I've seen them work. And we have Miss Whitney Hampton. Hampton Homes. She is amazing. We also have Crystal of Keys Open Doors. You guys have probably seen them all over social media because they are blazing hot. They are here with us tonight to tell you the things that you need to know to successfully sell your home in the market and make a profit. There's a lot of people selling homes. Some people do not make a profit, guys. So if you currently have a home, you need to be on this live. If you are in a market to sell your home, you absolutely need to be on this home. But anyone who have a home or is looking to purchase a home, you need to tune into this live because we are going to drop some gems today. I'm going to let the ladies introduce themselves shortly, and then we're going right into some valuable content for you. All right. Winnie, if you can just introduce yourself for the crowd, please.
Absolutely. Hi, my name is Whitney Hampton. I'm the managing partner of Hampton Real Estate and Investments, brokered by A Progeny Global. And we specialize in helping millennials create legacies of wealth by making home ownership a reality within 90 days or less. We seek to educate and to inspire. And I am so excited to be with you guys today.
Awesome. And our next fabulous realtor is Miss Crystal herself.
Hi, my name is Crystal Heredia, and I am of Keys Open Doors. That is my LLC that I practice real estate under. And I'm also teamed up under the Jesse Cobb team, and we specialize in listing properties, helping people buy their homes, and creating lifelong relationships that last forever.
Yes, I love that. Guys, real estate is about relationships, okay? Ooh. If anyone have been in real estate for more than 2 seconds, you will quickly learn it's a lot of relationship building to be successful. Absolutely. So I'm going to ask both of our amazing realtors some questions today to really give you some insight behind the doors of what takes place in the real estate market and the things that you should know when selling your house. So the first thing that I want to ask you, ladies, and I'll start off with you, Whitney. This is a hot market. Houses are flying off the market, right? So time is money, relationships matter. Yes. When you are screening clients, their potential clients looking to sell their homes, okay? What type of screening are you doing? How are you selecting who even get the pleasure to work with somebody as amazing as the two of you? What does that screening process look like?
I think one of the first things that we pay attention to is one, how serious are you, right? Do you really want to sell your home? And that seems simple, but it's really not. It can be complicated because I've had individuals say, listen, we want to downsize, we're interested in moving, or we want to upsize. And then you come, you talk to them, you get ready to list the property. And then when they have to actually have people in their home, they're like, wait, I don't want to do that. And I mean, these are real stories where people are like, wait a minute, I don't want anyone walking through it. Well, how do you anticipate us selling it? So the first thing is really making sure that people want to sell their homes. And so part of that is explaining to them what the process will look like, the things that they're going to encounter from buyers, as well as what's going to happen as far as their money. How much are you going to net? Yes. And so that means knowing how much you owe on the property and the type of fees that you're going to incur. So the number one thing I do is just make sure that you understand the process. And then how soon are you looking to buy? And then I actually come to your home. And when I come to your home, I'm looking to see, is the house in selling condition, right? So Do you have a lot of work that needs to be done to the property? Are you prepared to do the work? Or are you wanting to sell as is? And what will those figures look like?
Yes, these are gems, ladies and gentlemen. So take notes. These are gems, okay? Crystal, what's your screening process? What are you looking like? Because this market is on fire and everyone is in the market right now. So what does it take for you?
I mean, pretty much very similar things that Whitney has said. She pretty much hit everything on the head. Setting realistic expectations, knowing how willing they are to do work on the home, because everyone thinks they have the perfect house, but unfortunately they do not. Setting realistic expectations as far as what buyers are going to ask you for closing cost credits. Are you going to be willing to give the closing cost credits? They're going to ask you for a list of repairs. If we don't take care of these things head on, then expect it, what's going to happen around the corner. How soon do you need to purchase a home? Do you need to sell your home to purchase a home? All those things. So those are the main things, is setting realistic expectations as far as home readiness, and again, what Whitney said, what they're going to net as well, realistically going over all the expenses, how much the agents are going to get paid, because I know commission is always huge. But people don't see that, like, our team goes the extra step. We go in, we evaluate the home, and we also have a list of contractors that we work with that will give really, really good rates to ready the home. And we don't make anything off of that, but that's really important as well, because a lot of people can get very, very hesitant to get their home ready, but then they want top dollar. So showing them the comps, showing them, hey, this is what, if you want top dollar, this is what you're going to have to do. And then having the right strategic partners too, because I know there are lenders that provide loans too for, I think, 6 to 12 months, depending. If you don't have cash on hand, just knowing the situation, because there are other options. So some sellers might not have that cash on hand to get their home ready for top dollar. But there are strategies to get their home ready. So a lot of it is tackling the fears that they might have and letting them know that, yes, it does cost money to sell your house too.
It absolutely costs money to sell your house, guys. And I love another thing that you said, Crystal, was about tackling the fears. Because what I noticed with a lot of sellers, they're scared. This process can be unknown and it can be lengthy at times, right? And that create a level of anxiety and a level of fear. And having strategic partners that's able to walk them through that process is half of the battle, right? It's just making sure that they understand. So that's totally amazing, guys. So you know what the screening process look like. Do you have a house that's sellable? Your perfect house for you may need some repairs. And it does not mean it is not a perfect house for you. It just means you are getting this house ready for the market. So be acceptable to that. Your costs, them explaining everything to you, I think they hit it on the nail. Anything you want to add on that?
I do want to say one more thing. Not even just having to do repairs, but also making sure that the home looks presentable to buyers, right?
Aging.
So you could actually have a beautiful home that's over cluttered. And maybe it's not over cluttered for you, but when I'm walking through it as a buyer, can I see my furniture here? Can I see my home, my life here? And a lot of times when you have a lot of personal accents, that can stop a buyer from realizing that this could be a home that they can make their own. So it's important to make sure that if you have, custom drapes that are just yours that you love, that maybe instead of having those, you open that up so they can see the windows, they can see that natural light, that you're making sure that you're leaving as much space as possible for buyers to see, so they can realize, like, okay, the home is spacious, because sometimes you can have a nice size home and a person could just have big furniture.
Absolutely.
And that makes it feel like the home is small. And it's like, nope, the home, the living room is actually huge. There's just big furniture. So really, I think one of the biggest things, and we didn't say this, I think it was kind of intuitive, but you want a good realtor. You want a good broker that can talk to you, that can really explain to you, like, listen, these are some of the things that buyers are going to look for, one, but these are some things that FHA may look for too. So let's make sure that we tackle all of these things ahead of time. And like you've already said, those partners are really huge, especially in a market like this where it's crazy. All kind of things are happening. You know, there are some people who buyers are coming in 30,000 over list. You have to have a broker that can realistically say to you, that's not going to appraise.
Yes, and we're going to talk about that because in this market, but we are going there next. Guys, these are some serious gems, and I just want to put on the record, not all realtors are made the same, okay?
Say it again.
Is telling you, not everyone is going to tell you this, okay? The same way I tell you, not all attorneys are made the same, not all realtors are made the same. So when you are about to sell your home, you want to make sure that you have the proper strategic partners, the proper team in place, so that way you can sell your home, make more money, right? And not have a headache. That's the whole goal. So
absolutely.
Wendy kind of took us in it. So I'm going to slide right on to our next question. And I'm going to start off with Crystal first. But right now, houses are being priced. I'm seeing $30,000 over, $40,000 over the asking price, okay? And we as professionals know this is what I call setting you up for the okie dokie. Because it's an emotional response, and later they may be disappointed if it does not appraise. So when it comes to working with sellers and they are selling their home, Crystal, what is your advice about pricing your house correctly? What is the importance of having a realtor that know how to comp? Because some of these people, and you guys know I'm an active investor. I too work with realtors, and I got started probably investing about 6-7 years ago at this point. And I've had realtors comp my property wrong. You know, we won't mention those realtors, but I've had my properties comped wrong, and it cost me money on the flip. Because I was flipping. And when it was time to sell, those numbers were not right. So, Crystal, what's your thoughts about having a realtor that really knows how to comp, and then pricing your house correctly? And then if this isn't too much, just throw in, how do they know if their realtor know what they're doing?
All right. Good question. So the main thing is going to be to go over the comps realistically as what's selling within a half-mile radius within the last 6 months, and really stick to those comps. Again, it's going to go into having a really savvy realtor, because if you want top dollar for your property, but it's not, for example, these people did the floors, they did the painting, everything's been done properly, it's staged nicely. We're not going for that top dollar comp. So you have to really sit with them and say, this is what your house looks like. Yes, maybe the neighbor's house within half-mile radius sold for X amount, but they went ahead and invested some money and did kind of a little bit of a rehab, or they had their stage this kind of way. So if you want that, then this is what we're going to go for. You know, everyone thinks they have top dollar property, and having that realistic expectation too, because there are some sellers that are just so stubborn, and they're going to say, no, I want to list my house for this amount. They're going to see that there's not that traction on that house. So you have to report to them and say, this is what's going on. This is what the feedback is going on with your house. These are what the buyers that are walking through are saying. They're rating it a 2. They're saying that it's overpriced, and then saying, okay, we have to reduce this price now by 5 to 10% until it sells. Because ultimately the goal is to sell the house. So pricing it wrong is going to put us in a huge predicament, because if we price it wrong and then it doesn't appraise, and now that deal falls through, then you just bought yourself another 4 weeks on the market, you know? So then now people are going to wonder, why has this house been on the market 56 days? Why has it been on the market 90 days? And especially right now, when the properties are moving that quickly, you don't want to have yours be the one that's just sitting there. And you have to have that realistic expectation again with your seller and say, okay, well, if we don't price this right, then we're going to be in a really bad situation. And right now with the appraisals, with the COVID-19 situation, I mean, some appraisers are just doing drive-by appraisals too. So, I mean, that's really important as well, which goes into having a good strategic partner as far as a photographer that makes sure that, you know, the house is staged properly and the photographs are done well too, because that's something that we haven't seen before, where appraisers are just driving by.
The market is so new right now, guys. A lot of things are happening that is not norm, and they may return or it may stay like this. We really just do not know. one of the things we do offer here at True Lawyer is the 3D tours, right? So if they are doing drive-by appraisals, you want a 3D tour that will allow your appraiser to see inside of your house without having to get out, right? And now they can make an assessment because they literally can walk around on the computer and see through your house. Buyers can do it as well, but that's a benefit to you. But I think you make a really, really good point, Crystal, in terms of I want us to drop a bomb on them and tell them what happens when those houses sit on when that appraisal come in. I'm gonna have Whitney drop that bomb, but you make a really good point about these appraisals are coming in too low, right? And the deal may fall through. But what's the alternative, Whitney? Go ahead, drop that bomb about what happens, and we're giving it to them straight tonight, guys.
You have to.
Yeah. What happens when that appraisal comes through below?
The deal is done. No.
And I'll tell them if you don't go there.
Rebuttal.
Honestly, there are a couple of things that can happen, right? So if the appraisal comes back lower than what the asking price is, one, the seller, depending on how much they wanted to net, can actually say, listen, I'll accept the price that it appraises at, right? That's not ideal. So you could say I accept it, and now we're renegotiating, right? Because if you've accepted seller credits from the door and now the price is being dropped, you may not want to offer seller credits anymore. So essentially we are renegotiating this contract at this point, which is no fun for anyone.
No.
Because now everyone's like, I'm sticking to my guns and I'm not inching, and the buyer's like, I'm not inching. It's a lot. That's one part of it. The other part of it is that you can go through a rebuttal process and appeal the appraisal. That is also not fun, because a lot of appraisers, and we're going to give it to you real, they feel like they gave the best appraisal the first time around. And so when you ask them for rebuttal or you provide additional comps to justify why you believe that the home should appraise at this price point, they're not interested in what you have to say.
They are not. Okay.
So, I mean, realistically, they're like, for whatever reason, it's offensive to them to even go through that process. So very rarely is that changed. And unfortunately, if you are using an FHA buyer and it's an FHA appraisal, that appraisal sticks with the property. So even if you as the seller decided to walk away from that contract and were like, well, I'm not dropping my price, I'll put it back on the market. Okay, well, if FHA buyers come back, that appraisal price is there. That's how much your house is worth as far as FHA feels for the next 6 months. So again, this is why the comps are so important. I think with the market, the way that it is right now, if you have a newly rehabbed home, or you have a home that, has been renovated and updated within the last couple of years, and you've taken really good care of it, you can kind of push those numbers, right, to get you optimum profit. But as the broker, it's important that you explain that. Like, listen, the average home in this area, and I'm one of those brokers, I don't even do 6 months. I'm doing the last 3 months. I'm usually not even doing a whole mile. I'm doing a half of a mile, because I really, really want these numbers to be accurate, and I want them to stick when it comes to appraisal time. So it's really important that you understand that. And for those investors, Charmaine, I'm with you. It's so important that you get these numbers right before the flip.
Yes.
Because if you don't, it messes up the flip. Because now you can't net what you want to net because you paid too much for the property in the first place.
And I've seen this happen many times. There are investors that walk away with no profit, and they had the most amazing, newly rehabbed, beautiful HGTV home, and you just did not make a profit because the numbers was off. And the bombshell, you dropped it, but I just want to point it out to them again, because that's the bombshell I want to make sure that everyone have tonight. Comps are so important. You must hire someone that know what they're doing and have strategic partner, whether it's your realtor, your attorney. Someone needs to be talking to you and talking you through this, okay? And that bombshell is FHA appraisal stick for 6 months. Okay, 6. Your goal was to sell.
Nothing can happen.
You know, so if your goal was to sell your house and now this appraisal is about to stick for 6 months, what if you started making, repairs? I'm sorry, not rehabs, but repairs. You agreed to make repairs for the buyer, not realizing that you needed to drop the price $25,000. You're going to be upset. But for you that are watching this today, no need for you to be upset. We're telling you, get your team in order. You have amazing people on this panel. Hire the right people. Okay. So you have the gems. You should have wrote it down. If you haven't, I repeated it twice. So you would know exactly where the gem was. You should have it by now. So both of you, I've worked with multiple deals and I know that you're amazing, but what makes realtors different? Okay, what's your secret sauce?
Who do you want to answer first?
Let's do Crystal.
Okay.
All right. So what makes realtors different is their ability to see every individual situation and having all their experience, but still seeing every individual as an individual and making sure that you cater to that person's needs, because everyone's needs are going to be very, very different. Whether you're a buyer, you're a seller, you're an investor, some people might need a lot of attention. They need readiness. They need you to answer right away. They need you. They need a lot of hand holding. Other people are like, no, I got this. I'm going to send you all the properties. These are the ones that I want to take a look at. So being able to be flexible and adapt to what your client needs from you as a professional, and being also able to tell them and lead the way as well, because a lot of times the client can think, okay, I have an idea of what this is going to look like, what I want. But as a professional, you have to be able to have those difficult conversations with them so that they understand what's going to best benefit them right now and in the long run too, because ideally you want to keep working with them 4, 5, 6 years from now, 10 years. I tell everyone, I'm still going to be a realtor. So I want you to come back to me with all things encompassing real estate, maybe and or other, so you don't want to put someone in a bad situation or in a bad house, because they're going to come back around to you in 2-3 years and say, wow, this house is in shambles, so you always want to think of it as you're taking care of somebody within your own family or a friend, and make sure that everything in this deal is in their best interest, no matter what, because ultimately they're putting their hard-earned money and all the trust in you to make sure that you have their best interest at heart. And not all real estate agents are created equal, and I don't think they all have that in mind, because even when you get into those appraisal situations, I have that conversation with the seller's agent at times where I'm like, why did you listed it at this super wrong price, like you kind of threw them off and now we're off in this situation, all because you were trying to, I don't know if you're trying to just make a couple extra dollars or what it was, but a lot of people have that, not being fearless too as a realtor. So the fear, so not only as the client sometimes having fears as a seller, but as a realtor, you have to be fearless and be able to have those difficult conversations and steer things in the right direction for everyone's benefit.
Absolutely. I totally agree. You want to have passion, right? Your realtor should have passion for real estate. Your attorney, your inspector, everyone you work with on your team should have passion. Now, don't get me wrong. We all will be paid, okay? We will be paid. So don't let me get that wrong. However, the passion must come before the check. And if the passion comes before the check, you don't have someone comping your property $50,000 over, because that's an okie doke. There's no way you thought this was worth $50,000, but you list the house at that price to satisfy a client emotional need at the time, knowing they will be disappointed later. But that's just my take. We're gonna go on over to Whitney.
I think
that special sauce.
I think that you guys hit a lot of key points. I would always say check your agent's motivation, right? Which goes back to that passion piece. Why are you in real estate? What motivates you? Is it a check? Because if it's a check that motivates you, I'm nervous. I'm nervous of service partners if your motivation is a check, because you're not going to service my client the best way because you're worried about how much the commission is going to be. Every time I deal with my clients and I refer a partner to them, I'm referring them saying They have the same motivation and passion that I do. They want you to understand and be educated about their part of the process. You can trust them. So that's so important, is that you check your realtor's motivation, that you see, does your realtor have resources and partnerships, right? For the last 4 properties in the last 2 weeks that I put under contract, they came because literally the seller's agent said, I know you, Amy.
Relationships.
Bidding wars, okay? We are all in bidding wars. And people were literally like, listen, I'm going to accept your offer because I know you. I know you're going to get it done. I know that your team is good at what they do. Didn't even mean that we had the best offer, but the seller knew it was going to close. That's the other part of it. You have to deal with brokers who can close deals. Everyone and their mama right now is getting a real estate license. They in the market, they investors, whatever you want to call it. The real estate market is hot, so everybody jumping into it. But what does that mean for you as a seller? You need people that have resources. The last house that I sold, and Charmaine is actually the attorney on the listing right now, one of the listings in South Holland. 2 days under contract. We have 15 offers. The one that we got was $12,000 over list. It appraised. Yes. Because here was the thing. Even when I listed it, because I know how the market is, I still said, listen, there's room here. There's room. That stuff matters. So you have to have the strategic partners. You have to, like Crystal said, as a broker, we have to set those realistic expectations, but making sure that we have everyone's best interest at heart. I want to see the deal close. So I'm not, even if a buyer sent in an offer for $30,000 above, I'm not even accepting that. Even though I'm going to show it to my seller, I'm telling them, listen, that's not going to happen. Now we can negotiate with them in a way that it will happen, but 30,000 isn't going to work.
And that's called integrity, right?
Absolutely.
And one of the things that I want to add to what the two of them have already told you, you want to check their availability. When Whitney starts talking about making sure a deal closes in real estate, you have to have an agent that's available, okay? Can they show your property? Is it going to be on Century Lot or Lockbox? Okay, can you get the code?
Please say that part again, because neither myself nor Crystal mentioned it. But seriously, you need brokers that are going to make sure the property can be shown.
Bingo.
Guys, but it is important. As you see, both Crystal and Whitney is like, oh yeah, can your property be shown? If it takes a week to show your property, this is a long time you're going to be on the market, okay? Yeah. Buyers are ready. They are not waiting 1 week to see your house, okay? Your house is not that special. It's special, but not special enough to wait a week. Now, in addition to that, now my clients, I will give you a disclaimer. I have spoiled my clients. I don't know what I did, but I spoiled them, okay? I respond quickly. But now, when you get busy, if I don't respond within 2 hours, they're calling me like 5 times. So I'm not telling you to be like that. You probably won't get a realtor that way. I got to unspoil my clients. But with your realtor, okay, do they work a 9 to 5? Do they have a job somewhere else? Is this a side hustle? Is this their career? Can they answer? Do they only work on weekends? Do they only work in the evening? All of these are questions you should be asking and vetting your realtor, because these are things that make realtors different. We've already told you not all realtors are the same. When I say have a strategic partner here at True Lawyer, we call them true strategic partners. You have to build your team of people that are solid and can get your deal closed. You cannot get my deal closed if it takes you 4 days to respond to my request.
Charmaine, can I say one more thing?
Absolutely.
Not even just your broker, right? The attorney is so important in closing the deal, right? We, and Charmaine, because we've been on deals together where the other party's attorney doesn't respond to anything.
That's going on real bad right now.
It's horrible.
It's
and so you could have something that could close in 30 days that's taking 60 days because the attorney that you chose, one, doesn't respond, two, isn't a real estate attorney. Please stop getting malpractice attorneys to try to close your real estate deal.
Say that again, Whitney. What did you say? Say that again. What did you say?
Please. It's killing us as brokers, okay? You have to get a real estate attorney. You have to get an attorney that's willing to respond to correspondence because, you know, that's a big part of actually closing a real estate deal. We have several very important deadlines that have to be met. So your attorney has to be willing to respond. Your attorney has to be well-versed in real estate. That's important.
Very important.
They have to actually have some level of customer service and the ability to negotiate, because you see some attorneys that have these huge egos that, I mean, it can halt a deal for no reason.
Yes, guys,
Please.
We are a team, okay? That's why I want to do strategic partners. We literally are partners with you, partners of you, okay? We're in this together. Your attorney needs to answer. Your attorney need to have customer service. Your realtor need to have it. You also have to have it, okay?
Absolutely.
Everyone in the transaction is doing teamwork. I like to say teamwork make the dream work. If you have true strategic partners, you can be successful. Now, with that being said, one of your responsibilities as a seller and or buyer, just in case any buyers are on here, is to understand it does not mean they need to be spun within 5 minutes.
Oh my gosh, we need to get that out there for real, you know, and that's also like having a good professional too, because I set the expectation in the first meeting is, first of all, I want to know what best way do you like to communicate with? Do you like texting? Do you like calls? So that I know. Some people like to email, you know, so that I know how do you like to communicate. And then also I tell them, hey, if you have my undivided attention right now, you don't see me texting, you don't see me, maybe I'll send a text, but I'm not on the phone with anybody else when I'm in front of you. So I give everyone that same courtesy. So I'll respond within 2 hours, definitely by end of the day. You won't go, if it's more than 24 hours that you go from hearing from me, something's wrong with me.
Right.
You know, so just setting that expectation, and, you know, also knowing that's why having a good team is really good too. Like having those strategic partners that you're like, if the attorney hasn't answered yet, they will contact you back. And knowing that my attorney, has an assistant, contact their assistant, you know, their assistant's going to get to them. Also, same thing for my lending partners, knowing that everyone is properly staffed. I'm on a team. We just hired a transaction coordinator. So if you're getting your specialized, intelligent realtor or your attorney or your lending partner, knowing that they're not understaffed, if they're that great, then they're having business, you know. So I would this is something I learned from my lending partner. He used to tell me, okay, he's top 1% at guaranteed rate, he does $1 billion in sales, that's pretty big time, you know, but he's very intelligent, he can really walk you through the deal. And he would tell people, hey, if I don't answer right away, tell them I'm worth the wait, because that's going to kill your deal if you don't have somebody that knows what they're doing. Same thing, like as Whitney has said, I've won deals recently as well, just because I said, hey, I'm working with my lending partner, we can close this deal, because my preferred lender, I'm working with my preferred lender, they're really good at what they do, I've been working with them for 5 years, we can close this deal. And also, if you know how to talk to the seller's agent too, and letting them know, hey, we're pretty much in this together. How can we make this work so that my buyer's happy and so that your seller's happy? Because it's not you against them. Because if you're really out here, you're going to run into each other again.
It's a very small world. We are in this together, guys. Like literally, we're a team. We're partners. Okay. Everyone on your team, you should have a relationship. Like Christy said, if they did not answer, you know that means one, they're with a client, they're in a closing. For me, these closings go long sometimes, guys. If I am not answering, I don't ignore anyone. I'm getting back to you. I will even work late to get back to you. Absolutely. I will get back to you. But you know in your heart, they're not ignoring you. They're not, BSing you. You're like, okay, I wanted an answer right now. I cannot get it right now because they're busy, but I'm getting an answer before 24 hours. And I don't even have to think twice about it because I know their character and their work ethic, and they're working together. They're my partners. We're in this together. If you do not have that feeling, whether it's an attorney, it's a realtor, an inspector, a lender, we're going to talk about that later. We don't even have time today, guys. But if you do not have that from all of your professionals, you need new strategic partners on your team, okay? And I got the plug. I know everybody that know everybody, okay? I will tell you that you have Whitney and Crystal right here. They are amazing. I know the cash buyers. I know the lenders. I know
Come on.
I got resources, okay?
Come on. Contractors, everything. What you need, we got it.
A lot of people, and Crystal does as well. So trust me when I tell you the gems we're giving you guys today. I hope it's been helpful. We have a couple more questions, and then we're going to do some Q&A if y'all have some questions for us, okay? But I hope this has been helpful so far. So on the seller side, obviously they just want an offer, okay? The first offer coming in, they're ready to sell their house, you know, for whatever reason. It could be buying a bigger house, a divorce, or whatever. So that first offer that come in, it may not even be a good offer from a professional standpoint, but they want it. What do you consider to be some red flags for sellers to look out for from buyers?
So one thing I would say a red flag are the lender, right? So have you been pre-approved, first of all? So when they sent that contract, is there a pre-approval letter with it? Okay, there is a pre-approval letter. As a listing agent, I'm actually contacting that lender. I want to know how likely is this client to close? Meaning, do they have money in the bank, or is that going to be an issue? So I'm definitely vetting that lender. And there are some lending institutions that your broker will know, like, it's going to take 90 days to close with them. I'm not messing with that. That's not good for you. So that's one thing that I pay a lot of attention to. If they are asking for, you know, the sun, the moon, and the stars before we've even like had inspection or anything like that, I'm telling my clients up front, listen, this might be a headache. if they are already in the contract, like, and there are some things that can be negotiated, but if they're just doing a lot with the contract, again, on the seller side, I'm like, be leery. Because a lot of sellers, they have no intention of remodeling their home in order to sell it, and nor should they have to. So, and that's something I think buyers should be aware of too. Like, don't try to get the seller, well, I really want, you know, white paint over here. Okay, sounds wonderful. When you close, feel free to put that in. So those are just some of the things that I immediately pay attention to are the lender, the type of financing that they're getting, the type of offer that they're putting in. Again, if they say something $30,000, $40,000 over list, or they're asking for $20,000 in closing credits, things like that, I'm just kind of letting my seller know this could be an issue.
Absolutely. And I think I just want to piggyback on what Whitney said, because it's so important. Not all realtors call the lenders ahead of time, okay? If you are working with a realtor, you need to vet them and know what are their processes. If this is not a part of their processes, I hope you're working with Whitney or Crystal, okay? But if you are working with a different realtor and then this is not a part of their process, or I know I work with a lot of for sale by owners as well. If you are doing it by yourself, everything that they're telling you, you have to be willing to do it by yourself, or give Crystal or Whitney a call and they'll do it for you, okay? So this is very important. Getting an offer and your deal falling through because they're not approved 2 months in is a waste of everyone's time. And it costs money, okay? Nothing is done for free. So you want to make sure that they are really approved. And the amount of their pre-approval matches with your house, right?
Yes,
that offer,
yes.
that contract that you placed in, and they have money. And I'm just going to add one more thing, and we're going to go over to Crystal. Do they have a job? It's COVID.
Wait, not just do they have a job? Are they working on the job? Because you have people that have jobs but are furloughed. And I assure you that if they are furloughed, the deal is not going to close. And unfortunately, going back to integrity with brokers, you can have a broker that represents a buyer that knows that their buyer has been furloughed, that will still try to sneak that contract in and hope that you'll just sit and wait for them to go back to work. That's why you vet. That's why you're talking to the lender.
Attorney, I'm going to tell you guys this, okay? Obviously, I'm the attorney on the file for you as a seller, and I'm going to let you know, but guess what? They don't tell their attorneys. You have to vet your realtors, because realtors and lenders, I hate to throw anyone out there. If you don't do it, you shouldn't be offended. If you do it, stop doing it. But they do not tell the attorneys, including the buyers, realtor and lender, will not tell the attorney that their client have been furloughed. We do not know that they are furloughed until they ask for an extension and we say no. Tell us why you need an extension, give us documentation, and then we find out the person have been furloughed for 2 months. Okay, guys, it is COVID. It is a different market out here. So absolutely. I want you to make sure you are vetting your strategic partners. If you are for sale by owner, meaning you are selling your home yourself, it is your responsibility to do the things that we are talking about tonight. Okay, it absolutely is your responsibility. Ask questions, like Whitney corrected me. Don't ask if they're working, because when I say working, I mean you're on the clock. But they like to be smart and play with words. Yes, I'm working. I have a job, but I only work 5 hours. Okay. You can't buy a house like that.
I worked in 3 months, but I have a job.
And we are not playing, okay? We are dead serious. During this time is going to be very important, and it's more so important because this is COVID. If you happen to watch this and COVID is over and it's no longer, still ask that question, because everyone wants what they want, and no one is just going to be honest and tell you unless you have asked them, okay? So that's really important. Crystal, what's some red flags for you? Like, this is not the offer that we're even attempting to deal with.
So obviously the cash to close that they're going to need, which Whitney mentioned already. And also the closing date too, because sometimes, you know, they might need a closing date that's over 45 days from now. So why? You know, chances are the reason they need such a far away closing day is because they don't have the money to close. So they're trying to come up with the money to close on your time. So it's costing you money because you're going to pay your mortgage. And then also when the contract is submitted, how full is the contract or how not full is the contract? Because that can tell you the type of experience that the realtor has too. If they're missing a whole bunch of stuff and you're calling them back, can you put this in? Can you correct this? Who's the attorney on this? You know, if everything is there and it's nice, neat, then you got, okay, now we're looking at something good. But if the interest rate is high, there's a lot of things missing, initials missing, and you're basically walking the realtor through how to fill out the contract, then that's a red flag right there. And if they're missing their strategic partners too, I mean, if the attorney's not there and the lender's not on the contract, then that's a big red flag too.
Absolutely.
And again, yeah, and then again, like what they're asking for right up front too. Like if they're asking for everything and like everything included in the house, and they're already doing the absolute most, and that's on the first page now too, because they restructured the multi-board 7.0 contract. So before you even get to page 13, you already have a huge idea of what you're dealing with as far as what they're asking for the purchase price, closing credits, home warranty if they need that too. If they need absolutely everything, then you got to be looking at, well, what was my seller's bottom line too, because this might not be a good fit.
And keep in mind, when you're selling your house, your realtor, we talked about comps earlier, they come to your house based on its current condition. Okay, it is not your responsibility to go and rehab the whole house. If you were going to do that, you could have received more money for doing that. Right? Absolutely. So know what you're willing to do, what you're not willing to do. Pay attention to all of the things that both Crystal and Whitney have told you, because all of these things are very, very important. I think another red flag is very short, and tell me if I'm wrong, I could be a little biased, but very short closing dates. Okay. A lot of times people are lying to you. They will tell you they close in 20 days. If you have a lender, you cannot close in 20 days. It is just not moving quick enough for them to be able to do that, which means if you were a seller who absolutely had a deadline for whatever reason, and you needed to sell your house in 20 days, you need a cash buyer, okay? Mm-hmm. With a lender, they're just going to wait to that 20 days and then ask you for an extension. And sometimes it's even 30 days. These deals are taking anywhere from about 35 to 45 days. And if you know you are very pressed for time, right? You may be getting a divorce. Anything could be happening. You have a job. You're moving out of town. If you are very pressed where you cannot go over that date, you better pay attention to that closing date, because very, very short period of times when you know you have a lender isn't good either. I'm going to add one more thing, and then I'm going to ask for some advice from you ladies, and we're going to take some questions if we have any tonight. One other thing is cash buyers who have no cash. Okay. I told you I'm going to drop some gems for you guys, okay, tonight. So, if you
walk off, I'm walking off.
I am a cash buyer. Cash means they can go to the bank and they can give you money tomorrow.
Not hard money loan.
You understand? You know, they can give you money once you provide them with a clear title.
Say it again, Crystal. Not hard money. Not hard money. Okay.
Or private funds.
Come on, not.
Private
that's
funds,
not it.
Hard money. Funds that need to be approved by someone. Funds that require you to do an appraisal. See, you cannot say as is hard cash money and then you need an appraisal. This is going to take time, guys. You're not closing in 7 days when you have all of these special requirements. So we are dropping these gems so that way you guys can be prepared. I want all of you to be prepared. Now, as professionals that we are, I know myself, Whitney, and Crystal, we do a very good job with vetting for you. We do a very good job with explaining to you. But a lot of times, by the time I get the contract is executed, okay? When an attorney gets your contract, if you have already executed the contract, now we're trying to go backwards and renegotiate stuff. And that's not really how it should be. So I'm not sure how the realtors feel about this, but I'm going to throw it out there. Before you execute a contract, you guys just send it in. We're going to review it anyway. Just have us review it before it's executed, because some of the stuff you can catch before you actually sign. Buyers will give you the world when they're trying to get you to accept their offer. Once the offer is accepted and we're in negotiations, it's hardball now. It's like, no, I do, I don't. And now you would have had leverage. You have leverage before the contract is executed. Afterwards, the buyer begins to have leverage. So if you want the most leverage before it's executed, run it by your realtor, then run it by your attorney, or vice versa, whichever way, and then you sign off on it, right? To make sure that everything you want is in there. It's also a couple other tricks we don't even have time for that I put into contracts that come to me that's executed before. All of these things are really, really important. So guys, I'm just going to ask both of you. The market is hot. Houses are flying off the market. Some of them that's well done, right? What advice would you give to sellers who are selling their house in this market?
Put it on the market.
Yes, we
need more property.
we need the inventory. Sell your home.
I don't know where you're gonna move, but I'll help you get there too.
I know, right?
We'll figure that out later. Just put it on the market.
Like, seriously, the inventory is low. So if you were thinking of selling your home, give us a call, okay? Our number is right there, 312-442-0057. If you are looking to sell your home, please give us a call. I know Whitney, Crystal, I give you guys bomb referrals. And for those of you that don't know what bomb is, that means amazing referrals, okay?
Thanks.
Anyone that I refer you to, these are people who have been vetted. They are true strategic partners that can help close these deals, and they have the resources needed to refer you to get your deal closed, okay? Inventory is low. Put your house on the market. That's great advice. What about you, Crystal?
I mean, it's the same thing. Everybody all the way around. Inventory is low. Put your house on the market and get it as ready as you possibly can. Let somebody come in, like let me come in there, make an appointment, and my team, and we'll make sure that it's ready to go, you know, and be realistic with it. But right now it's going to sell really fast. So be ready for that too.
Yes, it's selling really fast. Be prepared to move out. No one's buying your house and you cannot move out for a month. Please don't ask me that anymore. But, you know, people
unless you want to pay. You can move out in a month, but you got to pay that buyer.
Right.
So if you don't want to pay, buy the house.
Right. Now you're renting your house, right? You have to pay rent, and most of you won't want to pay those rates. So be prepared to move out. And my advice that I'm going to give to sellers, you know, guys know I'm on the attorney side. Negotiate. Stop giving all the candy away. You don't have to give all the candy away. They just told you that the market is a buyer's market. Okay.
Seller's market.
I'm sorry.
Seller's market.
Seller's market. It's a seller's market right now. Buyers are looking for houses. I know about 13 clients who are looking for houses. Okay. So the inventory is really, really low, and the realtors are literally online looking for houses, everything. You do not have to give all the candy away. What is the candy? The seller's credits. Okay. The rehabs, the repairs, some of this stuff you have to give some. But use it as a leverage. Use it. You should be leveraging it. If you give everything away at the beginning of the transaction, when we're in negotiations, it's nothing left to negotiate with. We need a little bit of leverage. So you want to sell your house. A great realtor like the two that we have now, they're not going to let you give everything away. You give some and leave enough, because negotiations do happen in real estate. And what I hate to see is my sellers who they have given so much in the beginning. When you send them a repair list, do an inspection, they are exhausted already because they've given so much away in the beginning. Leave a little bit on your tree that you're not going to be exhausted, and you can effectively allow us to negotiate on your behalf and get your house sold. This is a seller's market. Your house will sell as long as you are putting the gems that we have released with you tonight to action. Okay. I'm going to see if we have any questions. I know we shared it over, but these have been some amazing information. What you guys think? Think this has been amazing?
I think so. Can I say one more thing
sellers
should do?
Go ahead, Whitney.
Honestly, use a broker. And here's the reason why. So we can help negotiate on your behalf, first of all. But two, so we can get more eyes on product. Goes back to those relationships, goes back to those partnerships. If you use a broker to sell your property, your home is going to sell twice as fast. It's going to usually sell for more because we've run those comps, because we know what the industry and the market looks like in your specific area. So you want to use a broker. Use us to your advantage to get that house sold, to get you the most profit available to you and get it sold quickly. And to make sure, like Charmaine said, you're not giving up all the goods.
Absolutely, guys. This is about teamwork, make the dream work. We are literally strategic partners working on your behalf. We get it. There are some for sale by owners. And I'm not going to say if you absolutely die hard, want to do it yourself, I won't tell you not to. You know, as a lawyer, I'm still going to assist you. You can do it by yourself. But when you have amazing realtors that can help you, okay, I'm not saying any realtor, okay? I didn't say hire any realtors, because some of the realtors, you can do it yourself, okay? But assuming you have hired one of these true strategic partners, it is an amazing way to get your house sold quickly, to not give away the goods, and to reduce some of your stress. We want you to have a great experience when you're selling your house. We hope to work with you multiple times while you're selling your house, when you buy your next house, and when you sell that house. So we're not here just for a check. Everyone that I work with, everyone that's a true strategic partner, have a passion for real estate. And that's why I have partnered with them, and we continuously do deals together because I like their work ethic. Okay. So we had a lot of good gems, good information. I didn't see any like pertinent questions there. I apologize if I missed you guys, okay? I normally have my assistant today. I don't. If I missed anyone, just DM me don't DM me, please don't. Email me your question. Don't DM me, guys. So if I missed anyone, go ahead and email me your questions or give my office a call. We are more than willing to help you. I hope this have been an amazing experience. Crystal, Whitney, y'all drop gems. I love it. I thank you. I love you. Thank you guys for being a true strategic partner. Any last words for the people?
Please put your house on the market, please.
Houses needed. We need it.
Thank you. Yes, sell your house and choose somebody that's very intelligent that has your best interest, aka one of us.
Please.
Awesome. So you heard them. This is true.
Intelligence is important.
Intelligence, literally, guys. See, we can't even get off here. I was gonna end it, but here's the thing. What we're saying, we're not just saying it to be biased, to be funny, right? We want to have a little fun tonight, but in all seriousness, everything we said tonight is real and it's very true. We're giving you real life examples, things that really do happen. So if anything we said tonight, you're like, that will never happen to me. It is likely it can and it will happen to you. You guys have no idea the amount of emails that we send out on files. Sometimes it's 100, 200, depending on what's going on. We really fight for you to make sure that you can close your deal. Again, I do have clients that's for sale by owner. It's a lot of work. Not everyone is cut out for that work. If you are, True Lawyer will take you to, okay? Give us a call. We will help you. So I am not discouraging anyone. However, if you want a team to help you, it comes with a cost, of course. They need their commission, rightfully so. I know everybody that know everybody that can get your house sold. Whitney know everybody that know everybody that can get everything done, okay? Crystal does as well. We are resourceful as ever. We are here to serve you, to help you to sell your house and have the best experience as possible. I will not say there will be no headaches, but there will be a lot less headaches, okay? Absolutely. So again, we're about to close out. For those of you that do not know me, I'm attorney Charmaine Robinson, founder and attorney at True Lawyer Law Firm, and our primary goal is to help you to accumulate, protect, and transfer wealth. I hope this have been amazing. Our guest tonight was Miss Whitney Hampton of Hampton Homes. Thank you so much. And Crystal of Keys Open Doors. They have been amazing. Their contact information will be provided to anyone that reach out to us. They are true strategic partners. Thank you, ladies. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have
a good night. Bye.
Good night, you guys.